How's it going, people? My name is Rojanna, for those of you who don't know me. In this channel I talk about life in general and issues and how I normally deal with my issues. I like to be inspired and I like to inspire people to be happy and smile more, so keep watching if you're fond of that. When I started this channel, I told myself that I'm going to tell stories. I'm going to speak for the people who cannot speak for themselves. And I'm not going to care if it's going to make people uncomfortable or if it's going to bother them, because that is the reality of what we live in, a lot of us at least. But I kind of got stuck in this whole idea that videos need to be pink and perfect. It's because when you make a video, you put a lot of effort in it and you want people to see those videos, and there is this idea of what people want to see when they come to YouTube, and we think that the videos need to be perfect, and so that means that a lot of people will hear you. And let's face it, a lot of people might say views don't count, but it counts when you make a video and you want your story to be heard, and views mean people will actually hear that. And so my whole purpose is to get people to listen. So yeah, it does matter for me, and yeah, it's easy for me to get stuck in that whole situation, but I'm not going to. I had a very different idea for this video and I decided to make this one. Now I'm going to warn you, this video is going to be very uncomfortable and very disturbing. Hopefully. There are things that are happening in the world that a lot of us don't know about. And if those problems are actually happening to us, it will always help to see someone else has went through them and someone else had to deal with them. And it's always helpful to hear their side of the story. Now I say that I've been through stuff, but the issues that I'm going to talk about in this video are not going to be issues that necessarily I went through. They're going to be things that my relatives, my friends, really close friends went through. The people who I was so close to that if they went through something, that meant that I went through that, because I saw these people on a daily basis. I helped them, I was with them all the time, and if there was something that was hurting them, it would hurt me. So it doesn't mean that the issue that I'm talking about, I don't know it firsthand. Some of these issues I have been through it myself, so I guess you'll never know which comes from me and which comes from my friends. I know there's going to be people out there who say, hey Rojan, there's worse things happening in the world like all the time, and I understand that, but I can only speak about my experiences. Just because there's worse things happening in the world doesn't mean the things that we go through are not important enough to be heard. There are things that are happening in this world and houses that I personally cannot deal with. These things need to be talked about. These things are not normal in any case, and the people who are in these situations need to understand that this is not how a normal family, a normal community needs to act. I'm going to list these points and talk about them a little bit. Point number 1, abuse. I don't know where to start. Let me first define abuse for the people who don't know. Abuse can mean several things. Number 1, using something to bad effect or for a bad purpose. Number 2, treat with cruelty or violence, especially regularly or repeatedly. Number 3, assault, especially to a woman or a child sexually. It can be anyone. It doesn't need to be a woman or a child. It can be anyone. Number 4, use or treat in such a way as to cause damage or harm. Number 5, speak to someone in an assaulting or offensive way. And finally, abuse as a noun means the improper use of something. Now that could be anything. That could be power, that could be words. I feel like when you say abuse, people tend to think that it comes from the outside world and it's something that happens outside of the doors of a community that you trust, but that's not the case. In most cases, it's not true. A lot of the people who do abuse others, they don't understand. They don't think they are abusing, and that's why I define abuse, because a lot of the times people assume that abusing just means sexually, and even then they don't know where the line is. Where is it that you're abusing someone and not just being a little bit pushy? And I want to tell people that are being abused that it's never your fault. I say this because I've been told a lot of the times that abuse happens when you let it happen. People actually don't think about the abuser and they just say, hey, you've been abused, you shouldn't have let that happen. or you acted in a way, spoke in a way, or did something in a way that made them want to abuse you, it's never your fault. I could talk about this forever because it's such a huge problem in today's society that people need to understand that it is not okay. There needs to be certain lines. It's not okay to use something in an improper way because you're hurting someone else. If you're being abused, there's always help. There's always so many things that you can do. There are hotlines you can call, there are websites you could go to, there are people who you can talk to that will help you, definitely. They're your family, they're your friends, people who love you, they're going to support you no matter what. They're never going to judge you, they're never going to tell you it was your fault, and even if they do, you need to understand that it is never your fault. People will try to help you. Please, please don't be scared to speak, and trust me, I know, it's hard, it's scary. You think people will judge you. It's gonna hurt you so much if you don't speak about this. And you need to put yourself first. You need to get help. You need to speak. I'm going to put the links of all the things that I'm going to talk about in the description. The websites, the phone numbers, all of them. I'm going to put the number to two of the websites that will help you get sorted. Both of them are for National Domestic Violence Helpline. There's one for women and there's one for men. Now I need to mention this, while I was looking up, it was so hard to find a helpline for men. I don't understand why, because we're all people at the end of the day. Men can be abused as much as the rest of us, and I don't think that's okay, which needed to be mentioned. A lot of the times when people put you through these situations, they make you believe things that you wouldn't believe on a daily basis. When you're in that situation, you're vulnerable, and that person uses their power against you. Please get help. Please speak. And I guess that a lot of the other people, maybe you need to look at yourself and see if you're doing it, and if you are, then you need to stop. Even understanding that you're in that situation is a big step, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you've done that, and you need to apologize to the people and you need to be there for them. You also need to say that you've done this to others, and you also need to get help because chances are you're not in a very good situation yourself. Point number 2, physical abuse. Now I know that I talked about abuse in point number 1, but I feel like I need to put a point for just speaking about physical abuse, although all sorts of abuse are as important. I can only talk about the situation that I was at, as again, I've mentioned this in other videos. I can only speak about the location that I was at, the country and the situation. I'm not saying everyone in that country, everyone in that location are the same. I'm just speaking about what I saw. What I see a lot of the times is that hitting is an option. It should never be an option. And I'm talking to a lot of families out there. Hitting your child is never an option. You should never have to even think about that. It is your responsibility as a parent to find another way. You cannot tell them that it is their fault, that they brought this on themselves. If you decided to have a child, if you decided that you're going to take responsibility for that child, you knew this was coming. You knew that it was your part of the deal to deal with situations differently. If it was so easy for a lot of people to hit their child, obviously if you hit a person, they're going to listen to you, they're going to obey just because of the fear of them not wanting to be hurt again. Obviously they're going to hear you, so it would be so easy for them. It would be so easy for a lot of people. I mean, let's hit everyone if you want to. Like, if you go to a coffee shop, you want a person to give you a coffee, why not just hit them? Because they will listen to you faster. If you're a parent, it is your responsibility to find another way. I'm not talking about just parents, I'm talking about everyone in this situation. You cannot hit others. It is 2017, people. And the funny part is, once a lot of people actually do that, they tell to the person who was hit that it is your fault, that you brought this on yourself. If you made decisions differently, then this wouldn't have happened. You are lying to yourself. You know why? Because you've just hit a person, you feel terrible, and you're just lying to yourself saying it was their fault, that this is what they did. No, it's not. It was your decision to do so. It was your decision to put your hands on another person, hit them, and physically abuse them. It was your decision, and you need to now live with the consequences because you hurt that person, and that doesn't go away. It will create later issues in their lives. It will hurt them for life. Not to mention their feeling towards you has changed forever. So let me tell you that if you do actually take that step, there's no coming back from it. I'm not only talking about parents, I'm talking about people. Let's act that way. And as much as you think that you're doing this for their purpose, that it might help them, it doesn't. You think by this you're stopping them from making a mistake, but you're hurting them more, is all I have to say. Both sides of this situation I'm talking to, you both need to heal. I hope that no one was offended by these 2 points, because I don't mean to attack anyone. I just want to be a reality check for you and for myself. These people, their voices need to be heard. The last point that I'm going to talk about is one of the most important points, and it's point number 3, health. Health could mean any sort of health. Doesn't mean necessarily mental health or physical health. I guess it is really important for people in communities and in families to be able to take care of themselves because of 2 things. First of all, as I said before, you need to put yourself first. You need to take care of yourself, and you need to be able to fight for your own happiness, because that is your responsibility and your responsibility only. Also, because a lot of the times when we're not in a good situation, we have an impact on the people around us and on the situations around us. And it is important for you to have a healthy relationship with others, and that means that you need to be healthy for that. And I understand that in a lot of situations, this is not an option for a lot of people. It breaks my heart, because getting better should never not be an option for anyone. You should never think about if you can actually get help. I think in today's society, the least that we can do is at least put help for a lot of people who need it. We need to be able to give that option to everyone. And for the rest of the people to have that option, you need to be able to take that. You need to grow as a human. You need to heal yourself every day. And for the people who actually need it, professional help is always out there. If you need it, there's no shame in taking that. And you should always seek support from the people who love you. Speak to them. Trust me, it will help a lot. And you should take care of yourself and the people around you if they need that, to be able to smile and be happy and just fight for yourself. So I guess that is all the points that I have for you guys today. I know this video was uncomfortable, but I'm happy that I spoke about these issues. I can make a lot of more videos like this that I can talk. There's so much more that needs to be talked about. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, check me out on social media. You can stalk me, I have no problem with that. Comment down below, what was your favorite part? Which part was it that you mostly connected with? And what would you like to see next, if there's anything specific? Also, I wanted to thank you guys so much for your support. The people, I talk to my friends and I say, you know, the people in the comment section, they've been so nice and so kind, and I really appreciate it. I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. When I opened this channel, I didn't think that it would be growing so fast. I didn't think that people would actually like my concept. I have a purpose to put a smile on you lovely people's faces. Please help me do that by sharing this video to your friends and family. You never know, they might be going through something and these videos might help them. These things, they need to be heard, and I would really appreciate you guys if you would help me do that and get this message to more people. If each of you shared this video with 5 people, that is a whole new community. I hope that I can inspire people to smile more and be happy more. And I think that there's a lot more people who need to smile out there. That's all. Love you guys. Stay positive and keep smiling, because we all deserve it. And see you in my next video, which will be next week. Bye!